Astronomically speaking, Cathcart is basically void. An A-type dwarf star with no true planets and only a loosely defined chain of asteroids and worldlets orbiting far from the green band. In theory, there is no reason anyone should ever have lived here. What is now known as the galaxy's junkyard came from humble beginnings. The system was first discovered in 2438 by wanted fugitive Adelaide Loris, who many believe had been using the system as a hideout and only reported it when she saw explorers scanning near the jump point. She named the system after the marshal who had been chasing her. While the UNE toyed with potential uses for Cathcart, they never actually claimed it. Ideas ranged from deep space comm research to plans to construct a transportation hub, but ultimately the system became a dumping ground for the military. The reasoning was simple. Without planets or other major bodies, spacecraft could be easily stored without fear of disturbing a local populace or local ecosystems. A pair of prefab processing factories were towed in system, and for decades the system began collecting all varieties of obsolete military spacecraft. Fighters parked in space, end to end for hundreds of kilometers, abandoned destroyers, cruisers, frigates and carriers, all stripped of various needed or classified systems, berthed together as far as the eye could see. For 200 years the fields of garbage grew in Cathcart, out of sight and out of mind from the military command structure. That's where Cathcart's history becomes fuzzy. The system had quickly become a trash pile for the military and private industry to dump crippled hulls, toxic materials and all other varieties of odds and ends, but in 2750, a young naval pilot tasked with depositing a fractured hull came across something unbelievable in the deep sea of garbage. Unbeknownst to anyone, Cathcart had a well-ensconced population. Individual outlaws and smaller packs had made the surplus military and civilian hulls their homes, retrofitting them with makeshift atmospheric containment systems and cutting out an unlikely living. But the station that came to be known as Spider was something on a scale not seen before. A sprawling, world-sized mass of crippled starships, abandoned colonizers and ancient platforms, all held together with tape, metal and prayer. Spider's origin story is more the realm of myth than recorded history. Clan legend claims its creation was overseen by tens of thousands of pirates and smugglers, working alongside one another, lashing together old habitat modules, destroyers, carriers and colony ships to form a living, breathing city over time. Modern anthropologists consider this story unlikely, but whatever the background, Spider is now one of the most fascinating domains in space, by far the largest place in the galaxy where pirates openly congregate. Nearing the middle of the 30th century, the outlaw population in Cathcart and the existence of Spider had survived the messes to become a somewhat normalised element in the universe. With their proximity to Nexus system and several other unclaimed systems, there were rumours that talks had begun to organise an independent human government, of which Spider would be the prospective capital. In 2931, that would all change. Dean Keller's infamous run began as a bar fight on Spider and spilled into 5 systems and embroiled over 36 participants. It was this raging battle of lawlessness that made the UEE realise that they needed to exert some control in that area. Shortly after, they officially reclaimed Nexus system and swept out the inhabitants who had been living there. While many of them relocated to Cathcart and Tyrannus, a large force stayed, resolute to not give up their home so easily. They struck back at the occupying UEE populace in a terrifying way, the Waltzer Massacre of 2935. The UEE's retaliation was swift. Convinced that supporters of the attack were congregating in Spider, the Navy launched an intensive bombing campaign to try and destroy the insurgents. The massive trash fields prevented the Navy from effectively targeting Spider, but casualties were still significant. The first thing to remember is that Spider is always changing. The battleship fragment you docked with to purchase narcotics a month ago may be an aggro habitat today, or it may have been blown out into space after a pricing dispute with a no-nonsense buyer. Spider is also constantly expanding. Junk located in Cathcart and crippled prize ships are added to the maze on a daily basis. Understandably, taking a wrong turn can be extremely hazardous to your health. Establishing your credentials can be tricky. Without the right codes available for the right price in surrounding systems, you won't survive a minute from arrival in system. While there is no organised government patrolling Cathcart, plenty of low-caliber pirates hang around the jump point waiting to prey on hapless travellers. Traversing Spider itself can be a confusing blend of protocols and rituals. The station is primarily run by 3 outlaw packs: Dace Clan, Fist and Nail, and NKZ. While in their respective territories you will be subject to their rules, so don't disrespect them. Culture aboard Spider is deceptively pleasant. Everyone knows themselves to be in the company of thieves, and any business done is no more less honest than you would find in a public square on Terra. Don't anger the locals, of course, but that's good advice on any world. One important note, every segment of Spider has a different decompression alarm, so watch for flashing lights, beeping sirens, or anything that might be trying to get your attention. And don't be separated from your helmet and pressure suit.
Some people say I shill for NordVPN, but listen to some of these comments that I just made up. I've never fed the love of a woman before, but then I got NordVPN, and that didn't matter. Doctor said I'd never walk again, but then I got NordVPN. Now I've been running marathons. Also, I got robot legs around the same time. They might have helped somewhat too. I was a tone-deaf pirate, but after getting NordVPN, I'm able to play the saxophone. Go on, Zin, try and animate all of this. Click the links below to get NordVPN. It might lead you to a more fulfilling life, but more likely, it will just help protect you from the terrors of the internet. Every month we have a ship giveaway. For September, it's for another Mercury Star Runner. I love that ship. It's a great way to try a huge portion of Star Citizen's gameplay. If you want a chance of winning that, just comment on any of my videos made during the month. If you'd like to further support the channel, be sure to check out that join button underneath my videos. There's also links to my Patreon, which also helps loads as well, direct donations, and just commenting, subscribing, liking, all that sort of jazz goes a huge way to helping the channel. Thank you so much for watching, guys. You take care, and I hope to see you in the verse.